Today we're going to talk about finding shapes. Now this is a very kind of basic drawing skill that I'm assuming if you took any drawing classes, this would be the thing that would be instructed. And cognitive drawing hopefully goes a little bit beyond this. I'm hoping that you have this knowledge and practice of finding shapes and everything. But if you have never heard of this, then let's dive into it because this is the foundation. These are the fundamentals of drawing anything. So, basic shapes can be found in everything you draw. An important skill is to be able to see them, so let's start looking. Some things have easy to find shapes, such as houses and other man-made objects like this. I mean, those are just pretty basic, easy to find shapes. You can also find these same simple shapes in organic things like the human figure and anatomy. You can break it down to be complicated or simple. It's just your preference. Did you know that even the most advanced 3D graphics are created with triangles called polygons? So even really like advanced things are just shapes. Start with these three basic shapes: triangles, squares, and circles. If you group them up and distort these shapes a little, you can create just about anything. Well, I think you can create anything, basically. Here's a flexed arm. Here is a strange looking bird head and bird body. We could add more to it to make it a full bird. Here's like a little cartoony bunny looking shape. We have these amazing looking drawings of a guy made out of shapes. This guy is kind of a combination of soft angles and hard angles. Soft angles. Of soft shapes and hard shapes. Angles and curves. This guy is pretty much all angles. This guy is pretty much all curves, except for maybe right here, the boxes and the feet. Now's your turn to find all the shapes you can in Me using these three basic shapes, either grouped or distorted. Grouped, distorted box. Here are some examples of how you can do it. Bing! I'm clearly better. No, I'm clearly better. So basically, it's all just a matter of an opinion, everybody's style is different. And so whatever you gravitate towards, that is what you should focus on. I never like to discourage anyone from drawing in a style that they enjoy. That's what's really important about your art, is finding a style you enjoy and studying that style. Otherwise, you're not going to enjoy it. Don't worry about it being right or wrong. The point of this exercise is to start searching for shapes in everything you study and draw. Whatever shape you can find is a good one. Okay, so why don't you give this a try now? I'm curious to see how you will do it. To the right, I've set up some guides to get you started. Finish drawing the man with only shapes. So here's some shape examples. Okay, so I love the boxy shapes, so that's just what I'm going to go for. We're going to just do some boxes. Is that okay? Is that okay with everyone if I do boxes? Triangles. Triangles. Sorry, I'm kind of getting a little carried away. I'm drawing muscles in here. Not fair. We got to do the really bad Speedos. Let's see. I kind of like this shape idea. How you like them six packs? Boom. So obviously I'm making up some of my own shapes. And that's what I suggest you do, just look at these up here and just, if you've never done this before, just try to find your own shapes in all of this, There's our six pack, different ways to draw the muscles and legs and all that stuff. It's all fun. And you're just trying to figure out the best way that you enjoy drawing this stuff, okay? We could go in there and darken this stuff up, obviously. Anyway, shapes. Shapes, shapes, shapes. So here's our reference again, Leonardo da Vinci. Now for our big shape exercises. Recreate Leonardo da Vinci's Vitruvian Man on the next page using only simple shapes like we talked about on the last page. Don't worry, this is the last shape exercise we'll do for a while. So I know some people don't like shape exercises. I'm not the biggest fan of shape exercises myself. I prefer line exercises, and I think that's more or less what cognitive drawing is about, is lines. So I know we have our head here. I'm going to just draw in some lines real quick since we're trying to do proportions and all that jazz, let's just try to get it right. Again, we're gonna just kind of look at some of the shapes. I like this kind of upper body shape that I see here in him. And then it's kind of overlaps. Let's put those features in there. These shoulders are kind of like a triangle. It's hard sometimes to think in shapes only and to not try to blend them together, but that is what we're trying to do. It's like a transformer or armor. I'm not going to worry about his facial features too much. I feel like I'm kind of curving his arms up a little too much. Here we go, nice little thumb there just by making a triangle. Some weird little triangle shapes in here. Something like that. I like these little triangles stuck to a cylinder. It's just kind of a fun way to draw. Whatever that is, calf muscle. And then triangles in the legs. I always see the triangle kind of muscles. What's going on? All this overlap is driving me nuts. Triangles. Square knees. Cylinder, triangle attached to the side. There's another little weird triangle there. Triangle feet. Does that look right? Does it? Anyone? Doesn't matter. It's just whatever shapes you see, that's what looks right. So have fun with it. You know, it's kind of hard to, unless this is the style of drawing, it's kind of hard to really go off, because you want to draw all the details in there and get all these curves and form all that stuff together. But nope, we're just thinking about shapes. We will definitely dive into the line work, because that's mainly what cognitive drawing does, is attacks the lines. These lines, like these interesting lines, that's what we're going to really dive into as we go. So how does it feel to have studied one of the greatest art masters? Now take a moment to write down any interesting things you discovered. So what did I notice? Triangles attached to squares. You know, whatever it is that stood out to you. Strange triangles in rib cage. Right up here. Thought that was kind of interesting. Around the belly button in there. You know, it seems like that's going on there anyway. At least I saw it. Let's say list at least 3 different things that you noticed in doing this drawing. And yeah, and we've completed day 8. So congratulations, pat yourself on the back. This is one of those lessons that is difficult for me because I don't usually think in this way, but I think it's a good thing to at least study it a little bit before we dive into some real heavy cognitive drawing. Layering some muscles over top of some of these shapes. Some of these basic shapes, we're going to actually draw some muscles over top of it. All right. See you guys tomorrow.